Hello everybody, this is the Behemoth and this is Testserver 9.2 and we're looking at the Tetrarch, but that's not something that has changed. What has changed is the IS. It has the HD model now, and yes, this is the stock turret. Now we're going up to the top turret with the top gun, and it looks like this. Like the bag over here though. Looks really nice. Won't be blocking any shots though, but you know, it just looks nice. The entire tank looks nice. The tracks especially, they look really nice this way. Anyways, moving on from the IS, another tank that has been changed to the HD model is the SU-100. It is the SU-100 with the 100mm gun. And this is the SU-100 with the 122mm gun. It also looks pretty nice. You see the scratches on the metal. Its butt looks like this. And the same tracks as the IS. It just looks really detailed in general. So the next one is the Stuk 3 Ausvoering G. And here we have it. This is Stuk 3 with the Pack 39. Or with the Pack 42. And it looks something like this. This is what you would normally see in World of Tanks. As you can see, it's just as detailed as the I think it is the same amount of the same armor structure as the mouse. So in general it looks really nice. And then the last one to be changed to the HD model is the Churchill 1. Here we have the Churchill 1 with the upgraded turret. But yeah, let's go to the... Here would normally see it with a fully upgrade. But let's go back to the stock turret or stock gun and the stock turret, because I think the stock turret looks pretty nice. So here we have it, the stock turret. I think this one looks actually a bit more detailed than the upgraded turret, in my honest opinion. So, look at this. Especially the side box. And the box on the back is actually quite beaten up. But in general it just looks pretty nice now. Anyway, what has changed as well is that the map Prokhorovka has been removed. And it has been a little bit reworked and renamed to Fire Arc. So there you have it. It is just about the same as normal Prokhorovka. It just has a lot of fire and bomb shells. They're just holes in the ground where land used to be. There's now just big chunky holes everywhere. Some wrecks are added as well, but for the full map review you can always go to Highfly 15's channel of the Rising Sun. He will be having some map views of the upcoming changes of every map that has been changed or a little bit reworked. Most noticeable one is of course Fire Arc and El Haluf. And you can see that on his channel. Hopefully but that will be at the same time up as this one. Now what has been changed as well. And good news for the lower configurations computers, because the display of HD models has changed. Now only your own play will be on maximum HD quality, and the levels of detail for various other HD quality vehicles will be set on the distance that was required. So the tanks that further away do not have the same amount of HD quality as those that are right beside you. And look, going through the list now. So everybody that has been colliding with the big arches on the Windstorm map, good news for you. The collision muzzle has changed. I can't remember anybody having trouble with that, but hey, there you go. Winter Himmelsdorf has been removed from the low tier battle, so probably only from tier 4 and up you were getting Himmelsdorf. As regular Himmelsdorf will be just the same as it was, just for every tier, including the low tiers, but the low tiers won't be having the winter variation of it. Now, Comrim has not been removed entirely, it has been reworked a little bit, and that's because there will be no longer high tier battles in it, only up to tier 8 only, and well, I couldn't really see it, but I guess it has been changed to accommodate the lower tier battles. So hey, there you go. Let's look at a nicer tank. You know what? Let's look at the Jagdtiger. Or the 8. Yeah, let's look at the HD mouse, because that looks always sexy. Now, 6 new rewards for the Team Battle Mode. The Team Battle Mode, of course, being the 742 battle mode that has been implemented quite some time ago now. And here you have the different kind of medals that you can have from team battles. The problem with this, you just have to get the top 3 experience of your team, and of course win the battle. Heavy fire, do the top 3 damage, and only win the battle. Fighting reconnaissance, spot at least 2 enemy vehicles, be amongst the top 3 damage dealers, and well, newly served awards are added together. So in 50 battles, you have to do 2 spots, 2 enemy vehicles, be among the top 3 damage dealers, and win the entire battle. Fire and Steel, survive the battle and receive a maximum total amount of damage taken and damage blocked by armor 25 times. So just block it button. Yeah, just almost die entirely. I think that's... yeah, just almost die and block it with your armor. So if you have about, let's say, 1500 hit points and you potentially receive more than 1500, you can get this reward. If you survive the battle, and of course if you win the battle. Crucial shot though. 20 battles, destroy the last enemy vehicle, win the battle. That's, well, destroying the last enemy vehicle and losing the battle gets kinda odd actually. But that will induce some raids in team battles for the last kill, I suppose, if you really want to have this medal. Moving on, Ranger. Damage or destroy enemy vehicles that is not visible to the player, they are 20 or 10 times. So just out of render distance, or just shoot them in a bush when he's just not spotted. Simple as that. So you can spot an enemy, move back, and they pop out of your radar and then kill him, and then get this reward. And moving on, the Guerrilla. Remain undetected and destroy at least 10 enemy vehicles. So, and the funny thing about this one, you can of course remain undetected, sit in bush in team battle mode, and destroy 10 enemy vehicles, but those enemy vehicles have to be within your vehicle's visibility range. So a thing to note if you want this medal. Premature detonation, destroy 10 enemy vehicles by exploding their ammo rack. So yeah, just explode them and you will get this. You don't even have to win the battle, just destroy enemy vehicles by exploding the ammo rack. Brute force, now this is a medal that I would like. Destroy 10 enemy vehicles by ramming. So just ram the vehicle, you don't even need to win this, but just destroy it by ramming. Pyromaniac, set 10 enemy vehicles on fire. I think that's quite doable actually. Ice 3 likes to burn if you shoot at the right places. And of course in 742 Ice 3s will be, well, they will be in abundance, so hey, there you go. Sentinel, and 10,000 base defense, or 10,000, holy crap, 1,000 base defense points. Only vehicle and victorious battles are counted, so win a battle while you are base defending something. And of course, infiltrator get some base capture points, 1,000 of them, and win that battle. Yeah, in a successful base capture. So if you capture the base and you're on 95% and the entire enemy team is dead and you win by just killing the enemies, then you won't get any of those points. So just a thing to keep in mind. And will to win spirit, I think this is something that was already in game. I think some of these were already in game, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, just saying that this is a thing. The will to win spirit medal is pretty awesome. Fight alone against 3 enemy vehicles and win the battle. So this will be a pretty hard to get, but pretty amazing to get actually. What's this? Survivor. That's not a. Yeah, survive. That was a long time ago. Anyways, I think these two are new actually. So for counter battle fighter, just destroy all enemy SPGs. So just kill 3 scumbags while you are a scumbag, and you need at least 3 of them. So, and then you can get this medal. Cold-blooded, destroy at least 2 enemy light tanks from a distance not more than 100 meters. So just defend yourself instead of drowning, you lazy ass are the drivers. Basically that's that medal. And I don't think there's any else that is different in the medal section. Moving on. Oh, of course, the biggest change. Strongholds. I'm not in a clan, so, you know, if you want a clan, just do this. I don't know, well, I don't know if there's a lot of guys going for a clan because, you know, hey, we want Stronghold. I think, you know, you can do it, but is it really worth it? Well, it's a nice extra, I would say. A nice little thing. Moving on. The volume of gunshot sounds reworked depending on shooting distance. This will work on vanilla, of course. It does not work on the mods that I'm using because I'm using Gnome's father's historically accurate gun sound mod, and then that is already worked in that. And what is something else? Fix the bugs with blown off tank turrets disappearing on the ground. So the ground will no longer eat your turret if it got blown off. Well, thank God for that. For certain vehicles, turret traverse sounds that were recorded incorrectly reworked, so just some sounds were added. And of course the SUA5 is now in the tech tree. You can buy it in the in-game shop. So there you go, 2,300 gold for the SU-85, which is actually quite a nice tank. You can see a lot of previews and reviews of this little machine. Quite nice to drive. Don't have one, maybe I will, but it's just a nice thing to have. Now, is there anything else that is worth mentioning? Removed all scenarios of historical battles from the in-game, so if I go like this and go to historical battle, I can no longer click it. I think they just need to work on that a little bit longer. I hope I can get with a M4 Sherman. If they want to update my tanker, yep, they. No, the entire historical battle is just removed entirely from the game. Well, removed, all scenarios are gone. I think they need to balance it out a little bit more. So some vehicle changes, not a whole lot to be honest. I mean, the Leopard one gets a reload time reducement of 0.3 seconds. Yeah, it's not a lot, but hey, it's something. The Rheinmetall Borsig has a reload time increase of 0.6 seconds, so from 10.9 seconds to 11.5 on the 12.8 centimeter Canone 44L55. Now the biggest change so far that I have seen, well there's two of them actually. The Waffenträger auf E100 has been nerfed a little bit. I will show you. Where is it? I can buy it, but you know, here it is. For the 12.8, like this is also missing. But if you notice, for the 12.8, it has no longer 6 shells in the magazine, it only has 5. To compensate for only having 5 shells in the magazine, they've reduced the reload time from 60 seconds to 52 seconds. And 12 dispersion for the aiming circle from on the move and hold reverse is increased by 25%. So it is a minor nerf, if you were. But it's not something that is, you know, really game changing. I mean, from 6 to 5 shells in the magazine is quite nice actually. So if you were a big fan of the Waffenträger auf E100, you'll still be getting those 5 instant burst of high damage instead of those 6 bursts, which is nice. I mean, 6 was just a bit too much. 5 is more. It's handleable. No, you can handle it now. But one change that I am looking forward to is one of my personal favorite vehicles, the VK452B. What has changed, you would say? Well, it has got an armor buff. Upper front plate, it has no longer 170 millimeters of frontal upper glacis armor. It now has 200 millimeters. Lower glacis, it no longer has 150 millimeters of lower plate armor. It now has 200 millimeters of lower glacis armor. So now this thing is a beast from 4. But one of the major weak spots was the roof of the VK. Because if the VK was looking at you like this part was very easy to penetrate. It was 40 millimeters, now it is 60. One thing that they didn't change though is the cupola. Of course, I think some patches, 3 or 4 patches ago, the E75 got a little bit of a buff. Its cupola got buffed, it has more armor, but the VK452B has nothing of the sort as of yet. Or it must have slipped under my radar, but this is the biggest buff and change that they did actually. Spec some more armor on the VK because now it's actually more viable. Firstly, it was easy to penetrate, now it just has 200 millimeters of armor on upper glacis and lower glacis. I mean, 200 millimeters of low glacis is pretty good. Still not, I think it's about as tough as the upper glacis now at least. Anyways, I love that change. I will not sell this thing in the future. There are some rumors that it will be removed, but hey, why would you remove, or why would you buff a tank and then remove it? That just does not make sense to me at all, so I guess it won't be happening soon. Maybe in the next patch, but we will hear about that later. The Stuk 3 Ausvoering G, this one, is a bit fatter now. It has gained some weight. It is now increased from, or the whole weight has increased from 12,000 or 12 tons to 15 tons 140 kilograms. So it is just above 3 tons heavier. So it is a little bit less mobile, a little bit fatter. Is it a buff? Is it a nerf? Well, it is a bit of a nerf if you ask me, because this Stuk was really mobile and it is not that mobile anymore. Of course, the same engine still applies with a little bit more weight, so it has less horsepower per ton. And now to the nerf that everybody's talking about, the penetration of the hash shells for the Death Star. I'm going to the Death Star now. I go to the Death Star, here we have it. The hash shells on this thing are no longer at a 270mm of penetration, or 275, now excuse me. It's no longer 270mm of penetration, it is now 230. So it still does a butt ton of damage, but it does no longer penetrate that easy anymore. So for penetration you go for the AP shells, but nobody goes for the HG shells or AP shells that I know of. Maybe a bit more now, because if they need to penetrate and do over 1k damage, they will need to go for the AP shells. But, well, it is still a massive derp gun, so we'll most likely still use the hash shells, but it's gonna do less damage because it will not penetrate as much. So yeah, you won't get one-shotted that easy anymore in top tier tanks, or at least tier 9s and tier 8s, which is a good thing. And what do we have? A little bit of reload time increase for the SU-122, or decreased at least. So the SU-122-54 is a bit better. I mean, it's not game changing. Nothing of it is really game changing. Yeah, the new maps are nice. Alaloof definitely needed a change. The VK definitely needed a bit of a buff, since the E75 was so much stronger. And, well, you know, Stronghold. Okay, Strongholds. If you want to go Strongholds, now you can with 9.2. Anyways, that is the biggest changes. All of the patch notes will be in the description, or at least the link to it, so you can check it out for yourself and see the exact data. I'm just mentioning the topmost parts of the changes out of my head, or of the list, that I think are a bit viable and actually worth mentioning. What I didn't mention, for instance, was like the HD model tanks, like the Churchill 1, the IS, they got a bit of the armor adjustments for the new models. Yeah, that's all there is to it. So 9.2, we'll be playing a bit more of that later on today, or tonight even, and you will probably see me raping face and taking names in this thing again. Because 200 minutes of lower plate armor, holy crap, that is a whole lot. Anyways, see you guys later. And remember to check by the Rising Sun for the map changes. Good night.